With cloud-native application architectures, Kubernetes solves many application deployment problems, namely elasticity, resilience, containerization, etc. But can it help manage database schemas? Yes, that's where tools like Atlas come to rescue. Atlas is an open source schema migration tool that is used by many companies in production efficiently. Let us explore with a demo on how Atlas helps manage database schemas the Kubernetes way. For this demo, we will be using a local Kubernetes cluster created using K3D. With our Kubernetes cluster ready, it's time for us to deploy a database server. We'll be using PostgreSQL as our database server. We shall deploy PostgreSQL using Helm charts with the value file as shown. With PostgreSQL server deployed successfully, let us verify if we are able to connect to it. To do that, let us first port forward the PostgreSQL service to the local host. And then run a simple PSQL command that gets today's date. The password is a password as you see on my screen for the demo user. And there we go, we are able to connect to the server successfully. Atlas allows us to manage any database schema. For this demo, let us use it to manage our PostgreSQL demo database, DemoDB. Before we start to manage, let us inspect our database using Atlas CLI. To do that, let us export a couple of environment variables that will allow Atlas to connect to the database. And then run the Atlas CLI inspect command to check what we have in our database. And as you see, our database schema public is pretty much empty. Though we can use Atlas CLI to manage the PostgreSQL database, the intent of this demo is to show how Atlas Kubernetes Operator can be used to do the same the Kubernetes way. Let us deploy the Atlas Kubernetes Operator using Helm. The Atlas Kubernetes Operator manages the database schemas using the Kubernetes custom resource definitions, also called as CRD. Before we get to the CRD, we need to create a Kubernetes secret that will be used by the Atlas operator to connect to the PostgreSQL server. The YAML that you see on my screen is a typical Kubernetes secret that has one key called as URL that will be used by Atlas to connect to the PostgreSQL server. Let us go and apply this manifest. Now we have come to the most interesting part of the demo, the Atlas schema CRD. Let us inspect what we have in this YAML. We have defined an Atlas schema named DemoDB, and it refers to the PG credential secret that we created earlier to connect to the database. The schema has a simple SQL definition of a table named fruits, which has 3 columns: ID, name, and season. We can also define a bunch of policies as part of the schema definition. To keep things simple for this demo, I just define only one policy that will restrict dropping of columns. Let's go and apply this manifest. And we'll also wait to see the reconciliation to be successful. And there we go. The reconciliation is successful. With this, we should have the table created on our database. Let's run a PSQL command to verify that as well. And there we go. The table got created with the same definition as in our Atlas schema CRD, ID, name, and season. As Atlas is a complete database schema management tool, let us try updating our fruits table with an extra column named count to hold the count of each fruit in our stock. And then let us use the standard kubectl commands to apply the updated manifest. And then we wait for the reconciliation. And there we go. The reconciliation is super fast this time. Now doing the same PSQL command again should show a fruits table updated with an extra column count as per the definition on our CRD. That's it. We saw how Atlas Kubernetes Operator can help manage your database schemas the Kubernetes way. We just skimmed the surface of what Atlas can do, but it is more powerful and can do a lot more.